The past 1, 2, 3, 4 seasons, we have made it to the quarterfinal, then the round of 16, being knocked out by the eventual losers in the final, Real Madrid. The quarterfinal, once again losing to Real Madrid, who ended up winning the competition. And then semi-final of the Champions League. This time we didn't get beaten by the winners, but we're clearly right on the cusp of winning this Champions League. And this season, I have spent £200 million to see if money can buy you a Champions League, because we really, really need a push to get this title. Welcome back to the 12th season, where I'm going to jump straight into it. We have made a ton of signings and a ton of sales, as you can see. Most of the signings being at the end of last season. I got my deals done early to make sure we got the men that we wanted into the door. But before I go over them, because I'm about to go over them, please smash the like button, subscribe if you're new around here, and I am going to give a like target today, because I have a feeling this will be the last ever episode for the Queen's Park save, because I just feel like we're going to win the Champions League. We're not in the Premier League. We're definitely going to win the Cinch Premiership, but the Champions League is coming our way this season. And if we do, it will be our last season of the save. So smash the like button. Can we please get 10 likes to celebrate it potentially being the last season of the save? And we're going to go over the signings and the sales that we have made. Let's start with the sales that we made at the end of last season. Ian Hope left the club for $120,000. Then we sold Neil Carr for £2 million, and Dominge, who played quite a lot for us last season, was sold for £24 million after bringing him in on a free. Very, very happy with that fee. But signings, as you can see here, these are all the signings I made at the end of last season to make sure that we solidified our squad. Starting with a lone player from last year who you know about, Gil. Great stats across the board. Actually, if you compare him with our main man Kaiki, who's been starting, if I can actually compare it with him, who's been starting for us for years, he is actually better at defending in a lot of ways than this Kaiki man, but probably not quite a starting player just yet. But £12 million, not bad for a player with decent potential. Another centre-back comes in though, Kurz, a German man coming in from Stuttgart, played very well for them last season, and has actually played a lot of games for us this year already. 2.5-star current ability, but really nice stats, and 6'5" across the board. I love what he brings to the table. Welcome to the club, Kurtz, for just £30 million. Next, for £5.5 million, these next three are a little bit iffy. We brought in Iker Herrera, just a bargain, and I was like, why not? £5.5 million isn't too much. Next one, Samuel, £4.5 million. Again, a CDM, another Spanish man. Herrera was more of a cam, and Samuel is more of a CDM. Just good rotation options and players that you can sell for a profit if we do need to do that. I think they all had release clauses, these three men, because the last one, Diampo, who was a French player, has also got a very cheap release clause of £2.6 million, so we activated it, and decent stats. None of them with great potentials, but decent stats, good enough to be a rotation player. Lewis Ferguson is the last player that we bought before the deadline switched over to next season. And this guy is 35 years of age, very, very odd for us to sign a player that old, but his stats are still incredible. And he is homegrown at club because he used to play for Aberdeen. And I have no idea how I have not discovered this man earlier. If we could have gotten him at like 28 or 26, I think he would have been an insane player for us. Look at those stats. He would have been a starter. He would have been a club legend. And he's still considered a world-class midfielder, even at the age of 35. I like what he brings to the table as a rotation option and as a player that will get registered for the Champions League. Now, this season, starting off, we loaned out Hanzik, who was a young player that I'm trying to turn into a central midfielder. Sold Angus Ward, who was a player that we brought in from Manchester United and then basically didn't play last season, so happy to get a fee for him. Next up, we loaned out Akbis, who was a left winger, who ended up just not needing to be there this year. Lots of players still with good potential, still going out on loan. Next, we sold Simsek for £25 million, brought him in for 15 mil last season. Sold him for a profit, as I always do. Very happy with that. His potential ended up going down, so happy to get that in. Salazar, a player that I know I could have gone more for, but still made a tidy profit on, especially with the loan fees. £5 million goes to Bayer Leverkusen. And then we loaned out a player, youngster, 5-star potential, striker, hopefully, at Borussia Mönchengladbach. Fingers crossed he's going to tear that league up. Lekowski comes back from his loan at Wolves, and what a decision that was. £41 million for him. could eventually rise to 52, and I believe it's if he makes enough English appearances, not if he plays enough times for Liverpool, which is exactly what I want, because I feel like he is getting selected for England. I don't see why he won't continue. So £41 million up front is outrageous. I thought I was only going to get about 20. I thought I was struggling to break even, but we have absolutely gotten a great fee for him. Not a starter for us at all either. I mean, 3-star current ability, 4-star potential. We've got better players than that for cheaper. Very happy to get that fee. 2 players, youngsters here getting loan spells. Wart's actually a player that we bought in and then immediately loaned out. 5-star potential, likes what he brings to the table for just 18 years of age. Next up, in terms of the sales, this one hurts. Bruce. Cameron Bruce, the man who has been here since day dot. Literally, he has been here all of these seasons, played so many games in that time, is considered to be, I believe, on the favoured personnel at the least, surely a club icon. Bruce has got to be in here somewhere. Yeah, Cameron Bruce as an icon. But he's left the club. He came to me saying that he wanted a new challenge, and this bid came in for £26 million. And I thought, you know what, actually, you're a rotation option now. You're not even on the bench anymore. It's time for him to go, and I'm gutted to see our vice-captain and a legend of the save, Cameron Bruce, to go, but, I mean, he wanted it, and I'm happy to get £26 million for him. So long, Cameron Bruce. Forgot to tell you, actually, Bannon also left the club last season, another club legend, and has been playing for St Mirren, doing okay for them. Last season did well, and this season in the Championship, starting again, so fingers crossed he does well. Bannon expired his contract, so hats off to him. Lee Farrell, another one of a bit of a club legend, has left for £60 million. Gutted to see him go, but again, it was a huge fee. He wanted to go. I couldn't really turn it down with all the central midfielder options we have now, so he wasn't really my top pick, so happy to get some money for him. But very good player leaving the club. Jamie Sinclair, a player that we bought in for registration reasons last season, has gone for £3.5 million. Nowitzki, I don't normally lose money, but I did on this one. £13 million, no opportunity for it to go out. We lost £12 million, but I just look at him, and he's just not great. Like, his stats are really average. Like, if you compare him to Salah, who we now have started in that left-back spot, and actually, he's not the only left-back option that we do have. I feel like I skipped one of my signings, actually, but we'll see if we do see him. But if we compare him to Salah is night and day better. Like, Salah is so much... I think I called him Salah, sorry. Salah is so much better. So £30 million, I'll take the loss on the chin. We make way more profit than we do losses, so I'll accept that one. Another one that we actually lost money on by £2 million. Souza has left the club because we have brought in a new goalkeeper who was on a top tier. So I'm happy to cash in on him while we had the chance before he decreased in value because he wouldn't be starting. So £25 million I will take. Next up, we loaned out 3 players. Barter goes to Manchester United. I wonder if he'll actually be starting for them. Who knows? He is not currently. That is expected. They said he'd be an important player. Andre, a player that we bought in and immediately loaned out. And then Onishi, who has gone out to Swansea. Not the only signings we made, though. Did I go over all of the signings? No, I did not. I skipped 2 of them in here. These are the best 2 signings. Well, actually, I don't know if this one is the most expensive one we made, actually. £59 million, a release clause for a left back who looks outrageously good, I have to say. Like, if we compare him to Salah, they're not too dissimilar. I still prefer Salah, don't get me wrong, but he brings a lot to the table. In the mental side of things, the physical, they're pretty similar. Yes, Salah is better by miles and technicals. I mean, he's a midfielder by trait. But I really do like him as a rotation option. £59 million is a wee bit too much to pay, I guess you could say. But 4.5-star potential locked in. Like, that's not potential. That's potential. I think it's a good signing for £59 million. Next up, here is the goalkeeper. It is Danny Dunn. We had this deal done for a long time because we found him for just £30 million. Could eventually rise to 35. And this guy is just night and day better than any of the other goalkeepers we've ever had in this club. And at the end of last season, we worked out that is what we needed. And look at that. He's so much better than Souza. A huge upgrade. Only 25 years of age. 8 England caps. I think he had 0 when we actually confirm the signing of him, but he is great. I think he's going to take us to the next level. Danny Dunn, welcome to the club. Didn't miss any other signings. Didn't miss any other... No, good. Now into this season, where we did make some more signings. David Turnbull has returned to the club. Yes, it is fully for registration during the Champions League reasons, but we love him. He was a legend for us. He is still actually, I think, in the best 11. He had an incredible year one year, 16 goals, 10 assists, and he joins the club once again. Blair Longridge, again, homegrown at club, so he's come back on a free, just for registration reasons. Don't know if he'll play any games, but it's good to have a stacked bench on the Champions League days. Warts, you know about, who's gone out on loan. I will skip Pina because he is probably the best signing, I would say. Andre came in, went out on loan. You know about him too. Tom Biscoff, we have another returning player, has come in on a cheeky loan for only £64,000 per week. He's got good stats. I will admit, it's kind of just to bring him back. I don't know if he should have been brought back though. He was on the transfer list for £31 million. I wasn't going to pay that. So we've got an optional fee, but I'm not going to do it at all. But we paid 50% of his wages. I don't know. It's okay. Like, if someone gets injured, it's a good option. And the last one, Pina, incredible player. I had my eye on him for a while. And luckily, I think it was Manchester United or Real Madrid, or a really big boy, I cannot remember now, to be honest, made a bid for him after we made a bid for him and broke down contract negotiations. As a result, that bid came in, it got rejected, and our bid got accepted once he was ready to renegotiate. £42 million, £56 million potential future fee. Already scored 1 goal and got 2 assists, and his stats are just across the board so good. The only thing I want is him to be able to play right wing, but he can play in that Mazzala role, deep line playmaker, left mid, left wing, striker, that right wing, and he is a perfectly well-rounded player. Pina is incredible, and our team is looking stacked now. Absolutely stacked. Look at the bench. Look at the starting 11. Cavalier, Pina, Grant, Oban, Edenilson, Tillman, Willens, Webster, Kaiki, Saleh, and Dunn in between the sticks. Millwood being pushed to the bench. I don't know when I accepted him going onto the transfer list. I actually cannot remember. I think I pressed the wrong button. Him and Willens both wanted to leave the club because, well, Saudi Arabian teams were coming in for him, and I can tell you right now, they have been known to pay some outrageous wages in the save. Let's see if we can find one. So I was like, what do you want? Like, why do you want to go there? And they were like, oh, it's money. And I was like, oh, cool, I'll give you a pay raise. Not a problem. Yeah, not £825,000 a week. Like, Football Manager's absolutely taken the realism and run with it. But I did not think that was going to be the fees that they would be asking for. But, I mean, I think that's probably what they would be paid. So I kind of felt bad saying no, but they're great players, so they're staying at the club. But like across the board, look at the depth that we have in our positions. We've got McKenna in goal, Dredge, who really should be a starting centre-back at any other club. We've got this guy, Ibai Garmendia, that's actually not too hard to say, who we've loaned out for years and is finally staying with us as a rotation option in case we get any injuries. Kurtz, who we know about, the new left back, who we know about, the Turkish man. Then we got Ferguson, the 35-year-old Steele, who still has the most incredible potential and really good stats for a young Scottish lad. Then we've got Gaspar, who again should be starting at any other club, but because we have Greg Grant, he's not starting. Turnbull, Millwood, Bunyard, who was an incredible player come the end of last season, actually now considered 4-star current ability. You love to see it. Kobayashi, who has the stats of dreams for a striker, and that's only the players that we registered for the Champions League. Oh, sorry, Brady actually. Brady needs to be on the bench. Turnbull can come off. Brady is a part of the reason we sold Farrell so comfortably. His stats are great, and he has potential too. Brady is incredible. He's not even starting. Biscoff as a bit of a rotation option. Samuel, that Spanish man. Diampo, the Frenchman, Jong Min, who is a right back that is absolutely key for whenever we need him in a cup game. Then we've got Herrera, who again is that Spanish boy that we brought in. Then we've got this man, who's just an incredible right winger, but gets no games because everyone else is incredible too. So he just gets no games. Espana, who is apparently considered to be a 4-star current ability midfielder, but he is nowhere near our team because of his stats, in my opinion. Gill, who doesn't even get registered. Boys and girls, this is a stacked team. This is a team that I think can win the Champions League, and it is a team that is currently about to verse our least favourite team in the world, Real Madrid, but as well on top of the Cinch Premiership. Wins across the board, 6 games, 6 wins, no problems, into the Via Play next round, beat Celtic 4-1, beat Hearts 6-0. We are all over these things like a bad rash. Greg Grant with 9 goals and 6 appearances. He is back, although he is back to wanting to leave the football club, which is not ideal. We love Greg Grant, but as soon as he is happy to stay, I'll give him a new contract because it's Greg Grant, and even though he missed a penalty, it's Greg Grant, so I don't need to say anymore. As I said, Willens slightly unhappy. Ed Nilsson also slightly unhappy. But, I mean, as I said before, you just wait until they get happy again. Oh, McKenna not happy too. And Brady not happy too. Oh, yes, I can't remember when I accepted that one. Actually, I do remember accepting that one, but I regret it. I don't know why I accepted it. So fingers crossed he stops kicking up a fuss so we can re-sign him. But you just wait until they're happy again, and as soon as they're happy again, you re-sign them, and then they stop whinging. And it's beautiful. But I've been talking for so long, boys and girls. We need to play this first game and then simulate to the end of the season. This season, we're going to win the Champions League. And I tell you what, this game is going to give me the confidence that we're going to do exactly that. We have not beaten Real Madrid, potentially ever. We get dominated by them. We have lost to them 2 times I can remember off the top of my head in knockout stages of the Champions League. It could be more, but we have got Cavalier up top, Pina, Grant, Oban, Eden Nilsson, Tillman, Willens, Webster, Kaiki, Salah, Dunn. Yes, Millwood is on the bench, but Millwood is only on the bench because he is kicking up a fuss. But Pina is certainly going to take that opportunity and run with it. Let's jump into it with that slightly less attacking formation. Well, it's the same formation actually. Sorry, tactic that we go with, where we just don't step up as much. We don't run with the ball as much, and it has worked terribly in the past. But we're going to give it a crack. And if it does work terribly, of course, we can always fall back to the other more attacking formation. And if that doesn't work, well, you know I don't have a lot of game plans up my sleeve, boys and girls. But this is a team that can win the Champions League, not the Premier League, the Champions League, and starting off with 1 shot. And 38% of the position, it's not ideal, but 2 shots are coming our way now. Surely it's only a matter of time before we get our first highlight. And I think it is going to be our highlight. 22 minutes gone. They have Sanchez up top. Oh, a bit of a battle between the war. Don't like to see him. Obviously, would have been insane for that Real Madrid side. Still so gutted I let him go for so cheap. And actually, Harvey starting for them too. We sold him for what, £30 million last year. Was very average for them, but is now starting in the Champions League against his former club. Fingers crossed he doesn't play too well. Bellingham in there. Timber. Ruben Diaz? Is that Ruben? That can't be Ruben Diaz. No, youngster. That makes sense. But no highlights to speak about. 5 shots to them, as I've been talking about their team though. So it is a back and forth game where we have very little possession. I am going to make one tactical change. I would take a draw. I would absolutely take a draw. Sorry, boys and girls. To go slightly shorter on the passing. And I don't think I'm going to switch up anything else. Maybe make some substitutes at some point soon. But for now, the team is doing okay. It might be a bit of a smash and grab if we do manage to win it. But let's hope that we do exactly that. 52 minutes gone, still no highlights to talk about, and it is probably starting to get to the point where we think about making some tactical substitutions. Although we're having more shots, not a lot more possession coming our way though. Still quite quiet in that division. Greg Grant can stay on despite the fact that he is tired. And we'll bring Brady onto that deep line playmaker. Gaspar into that deep line playmaker role. Save Brady if we need to move him into the CDM spot. Dredge is coming on at right back. I forget to say that he can play right back brilliantly too. Pina's not playing great. So I would say Millwood is getting the nod to come on. We're seeing a highlight. I don't think it's a real highlight, despite the fact they're running through on goal. It wasn't. I'm still sticking by it. It wouldn't have happened. The highlight wouldn't have happened if we didn't make the tactical change. But that was close to going into the back of the net. But now we have what I would say is the first real highlight of the game, as Sanchez picks it up, and Izan, a man that has been popping up in my recommended signings for years. And I thought he wasn't good enough to join our club. well, I still don't think he's good enough to join our club. He just wouldn't be a starter for us. But plays it into Camavinga. I respectfully don't know what Dunner's doing there. Izan, all the way across to Camavinga. It must have come off Kaiki there, because it's just dumbfounded him, gone into the back of the net, and he's nowhere near it. Let's go to the attacking mentality, I guess. Greg Grant is knackered, so I am going to bring him off. We will bring Ferguson on, actually, and play him as the deep line playmaker. Bring Gaspar up. Tillman is coming off, and Brady is going to come on, just like I said I would, leaving me with one... No, that's all my subs. That's all the tactical changes I can make. So, fingers crossed, the change in mentality, more attacking, gives us a goal, because it's definitely not going to be players at this point, because, as I said, used all my subs now. Vinicius Jr. into Camavinga. Fingers crossed we don't get any injuries. Camavinga running down the left-hand side, trying to find a player in the mixer. Almost finds Bellingham, and Oban picks it up. Clears it to absolutely no one, but let's put the pressure on. Let's win it high, and let's make this our opportunity. It's currently looking like it's definitely still going to be our Real Madrid opportunity. Sanchez scores against his former club, and he is celebrating at home like he has scored against any team. He does not care. He is absolutely thrilled to be scoring for his new side, and I am absolutely dumbfounded, unsure what to do in games like this. We had that 5 at the back formation that worked one time against Real Madrid, to be fair. I don't know if I should start whipping that out more. Like, we do have lots of very good centre-backs, but we have players, it's like Millwood nearly scoring there, that are good enough to beat this team on our normal tactic. We shouldn't have to drop back to be able to beat them. Like, I don't know. It's a bit late now, and this is, I think this is a very, very common theme. I play my first game of the Champions League on camera. We lose. Raxo panics on camera, and then Raxo comes back at halfway through the season in the January transfer window and goes, "Oh, things are great. We're winning the league. It's basically confirmed now. Champions League, we finished in the top 8. We haven't lost a single game since we saw you last." Like, that's literally how it always works. So fingers crossed that happens again. But Vinny Jr. making sure that this is definitely going to be one of those ones where I panic a wee bit after this game. But I don't know. I still back the boys. I'm not too worried. A bit worried. I will admit. Kaiki playing 5.9. Sorry, 5.6 is about as good, if I'm honest. As soon as it goes into the red, it's like you've had a horrific game. And if I had more substitutes, I would have brought them off. And if I had more better players, I don't know where I was going with that sentence, to be honest. Not a clue. But our Champions League run isn't as bad as last year. Atletico Madrid, and then we got Everton, 20, the Eredivisie side. Then we've got Leipzig, Napoli. Then we've got a Turkish league side, Samsunspor, who I've never heard of in my life, Lens. And that's it. So I reckon a lot of them are very winnable. Top 8 is always our target. Well, we want to win the league. We want to win the Champions League, and let's hope we do that. Cinch Premiership is just rotation time for Greg Grant to tear things up, and for Cavalier to have a good kickabout too, because he has been scoring goals like crazy in the last couple of seasons. So, I think he needs a little bit more credit, but I still feel confident. Not a great performance to show you on camera, but as I said before, it's always the way. So I will see you at the end of the January transfer window, potentially an update, as I've been doing recently, instead of showing you a game. And then, later stage of the Champions League's coming very soon. Sorry that I talked for so long. If you're still watching, you're a legend. So yeah, it's probably about 30% of you still watching, like, genuinely. That's the stats. That's where the stats at. But I'll pause now so that more of you don't click off. And the January transfer window coming now. It's the 7th of January, and things are going okay in our potential Champions League winning season. To start off with, the Cinch Premiership, obviously we're dominating it. 69 points from 24 games, which means that we have lost 1 and drawn 0. I don't know how we managed to get a 3-0 loss to Celtic. Very frustrating at home too. But Greg Grant obviously tearing it up. Gaspar up in those top goal scorers. Salak and Pina both in the top assisters too. So we're the best team by a country mile. Champions League, though, was a bit of a tough run. We've managed to get into the knockout playoffs where we're going to be playing Lazio, but that's not top 8. So we finished all the way down in 12th this time. I don't know if that's going to mean we make more money. We've always kind of debated that. But as you can see, since last time we saw each other, all wins in the league apart from this 3-0 loss to Celtic. But we lost to Real Madrid. We drew to Everton, which we should have won. We lost to RB Leipzig, which was fair. We drew to Napoli, which we should have won. And then, it was just those 2 draws, I guess, that kind of stopped us. Because if we got those 2 draws into wins, it would have given us 4 extra points, which would have taken us into the top 8. But no matter. We got to be beating the best teams. And Lazio is not one of the best teams. So if we can't even beat them, we shouldn't be moving on to the next round anyway. But the most disappointing thing is we got knocked out of the Scottish Cup in the first round. Bearing in mind, I did rotate the squad. But still, you wouldn't expect us to be losing like that. And I was very disappointed to see that we were actually outplayed in some ways too. With a 3 XG to a 4.36. I mean, it does imply we should have won. But still, they were in the game for sure. But transfers have also been made. That's what you want to know about. And the financial situation is fine. It's good. £60 million in the bank. We're okay. It's not the best transfer window I've ever had, though. And by that, you'll see what I mean when we go over it. Let's start with the sales. So, since the start of the transfer window, who did we get rid of? We got rid of Steele out on loan. Hanzik got recalled from his loan and has now gone to Toulouse because he wasn't playing very much on his last loan. Then Steele has been loaned out to Toulouse as well and has started playing some games as well, which is good for his development. And then Edenilson has left the club for £75 million. That is the one that I feel very disappointed by, I guess you could say, because he ended up saying to me that he was not going to re-sign a new contract, and his contract was expiring at the end of next season, so 2036. So I was like, this is the transfer window where we can actually get some cash for him, because next transfer window his value will decrease because, his contract's going to expire at the end of the year. So £75 million is the fee that I got, and I'm happy with that fee. That is one of our biggest fees. That £80 million sort of range is always what we get. But if I knew that was going to happen, there is no chance I would have sold Lee Farrell. Lee Farrell would have been a perfect starter to go right into that spot. So as a result, we've had to switch up the tactic. I'll show you that in a second. He's not the only player that we got rid of. We also loaned out our right winger from Mongolia. I'm pretty sure. Montenegro. I apologize for that miscommunication. Espana has gone out on loan as well. The man from Mexico, the midfielder. Our centre-back from Spain, Abai, has managed to go out to Eintracht Frankfurt. These are all players that just weren't getting game time, so I thought it was a good call. Herrera, the new central midfielder, has gone out to PSG, where I doubt he'll be making many appearances, but he's actually scored in the French Cup for them on his debut. So maybe Diampo has gone to Millwall in the Premier League. This is all money being racked up, by the way, for loans as well. Waddle, who's a young goalkeeper, has gone out to Hibernian. And then last but not least, Gill has gone out to Mainz as well. So we've got lots of players out on loan now, which I don't mind. But what did we do in terms of signings? Starting off, we brought in this young player on a free transfer, and I'm pretty happy with it. Free transfer, nothing to worry about, 5-star potential, good young goalkeeper, probably going to be a starter in the future as long as we do go that long in the save. Tom Biscoff has left the club and gone back to Brighton because we weren't playing him enough. I don't know how I bagged this guy for £12 million. Left back, centre back, right back, definitely a left back in my opinion with his left-footedness. He is amazing. He is so good. And for £12 million, it could eventually rise to 14. I just don't know why they let him go. His stats are incredible. He's playing really well. He's scored 3 goals in 3 different competitions. I love what he brings to the table. He's a wonder kid. He's 6'4". Welcome to the club, Angel. We're going to go with Angel, actually. And then last but not least, £35 million for this man, Langlois, and that first name isn't easy. Langlois is what we're going to go with. He's a Frenchman coming in on the right wing or the left wing, and he was just £35 million from PSG. We've had our eye on him for years, like literal years, because he's always been fluctuating between like £30 million worth of value, £50 million, and then he went up to like hundreds and hundreds at one point. So he's a good player. He's got potential as well. I don't know if he's like the most needed position we've ever had in our entire lives, but I like what he brings to the table. I don't think he was a bad fee. So welcome to the club, Langlois. And that now means that our squad is looking like this with a slightly different tactic. Now, I tried moving to a deep line playmaker here, and then a Mazzala here and a deep line playmaker here, and it just did not work. That is actually, I think, what caused the loss to Dundee. So, as you can see, I'm pretty sure that was the first time I tried that tactic. Yes, I'm exactly right. So, I wasn't going to do that again, and I realised that how do you say it again? Zealand was great at pronouncing it. The segundo volante is brilliant. Like, that is where we get a lot of opportunities from. It gives defensive solidity. Like, it's a great position. If you haven't used it, absolutely use it. Like you can see, Tillman has been playing it all season. 4 goals, 5 assists. That's outrageous from CDM. So I got that back in, and I've changed Pina because we don't really have another midfielder. Like, we have Brady, but I would rather play Pina over Brady for that vision. You know, like, Brady is more of a defensive player in my opinion. He is a very well-rounded player, but he's not like that creative outlet that you need in that midfield trio if you're going to have an attacking playmaker like Greg Grant and a, back and forth man like Tillman. But Pina is that creative outlet who can play with the vision of 16, the passing of 14, the technique of 18, and just be able to get assists, I guess, is the goal from this position. And he's playing it pretty well to start with, but I felt like that created a gap in here. And I've always kind of thought Saleh was a wee bit wasted at that left-back position, so we've turned him into an inverted wing-back where, fingers crossed, he's going to come into this spot here when Pina goes up, and then when, obviously, Tillman goes up too, to give us a bit more defensive solidity. But if he needs to dip back in here, I think it's a really good idea, and it has started off quite well with, I think we used it against Lance, 4-1 win. Yeah, we did, and it managed to do the job. No problems there. And then again in this game here against Kilmarnock, and we're going to use it against Celtic. I think it is an improvement on our tactic, if anything, but it is a slightly different switch up for us. But I don't mind it. So that is what we're going with at this current moment in time. We've got a stacked bench as per usual. Still pretty good reserves. A little bit dry from loaning out every man and their dog. But at least the core is still there, and our best 11 is now Cavalier, Millwood, Grant, Oban, Pina, Tillman, Willens, Webster, Kaiki, Saleh, and Dunn in between the sticks. And I'm going to simulate until we get into the later stages of the Champions League. Not showing you any games right now, boys and girls, because these videos are long enough as it is. We beat Lazio in the qualifying round, thank goodness, 6-2 in the end, with a 4-0 win away from home. We made it a bit sloppy at home with just a, 2-all draw. And, of course, in the next round, in the round of 16, we're versing Real Madrid. But we beat them 1-0, which was like an incredible feat considering the form we've been on. Look, we lost 2-4 to Arbroath, then drew 1-1 to Hearts. That was at home, by the way. And I'm pretty sure they're sitting at the bottom of the table. No, 6. Okay, respect to Arbroath. Then a 2-2 draw. Then we lost 1-0 to Falkirk, who, to be fair, are third. And to be fair, did get a penalty. And to be fair, I did completely rotate our team. But still, we lost. And then we just bounced back with a win against Real Madrid. And it was completely deserved. Look at it. 13 shots, 1.13 XG to their 7. And they have a stacked team. Sanchez, who of course used to play for us. We kept him incredibly quiet. And then, who else do they have? They also have, of course, on the bench, Eder Nilsson. He didn't come on, and actually he's not even on the bench. He didn't even play. We might see him in the next game. But they do have a very good squad. We've versed them 3 times now in the knockout stages of the Champions League. This time could be the first time we ever beat them on our 3rd try. But we do need to jump into that game. I want to show you something first because I forgot to show you. World 11, World Team of the Year. Player of the Year, well, I can go down to Team of the Year. Team of the Year. Greg Grant was in it again. I just forgot to say. Look, Greg Grant this year, last year. Greg Grant gets back to back, and then in the goal top 50 players. I can't remember where he ranked, but he was in it too. I think he was higher than 42nd last year. But anyway, moving on. Real Madrid. This is the tactic that we're going with for it. I haven't actually rounded out the bench quite yet. Ferguson can come back in because we have an injury to Angel. Dunn, Dredge, Webster, Kaiki, Saleh, Tillman, Pina, Grant, Gaspar, Millwood, and Cavalier. This is the exact same team that we played last time. I actually am going to bring Salick in. And am I going to bring anyone else in? No. No, Willems is still injured. Cool. Okay. I'll back it. Let's go for it. I did tweak the tactic. We're slightly more direct in passing, and we're stepping up a bit more, and the defensive line is slightly lower. But it worked in the last game. Hopefully it works in this one. And we are versing Edenilson and Sanchez, two former players of ours. We know how good they can be. But I don't know. If they're starting... We know, to be fair, actually, they were some of the best players they've ever played for our football club. So, you know, like, I'm not trying to talk down on them, but they played for us before. So we're on the level. We're on the level. Here is Sanchez. And to Camavinga, don't concede immediately. Thank goodness we get out of there. And it is coming back to them, to be fair, actually. Sanchez scores. He's offside, though. I swear. I don't like this Champions League music in the background. It is ruining my vibe. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Oh, disallowed. Offside. That's a blip. Not a sign of things to come. If we can just keep it 0-0 the whole game, that would be lovely. No more disallowed goals. Well, actually, more disallowed goals will be fine. But, you know, no more general goals. And I think that they've taken a look at what we did last time, and they've made some tactical changes because they are dominating us. And I really did think I had a tactical masterstroke and worked out how to get the best out of these boys. Maybe if we slow it down and just try and hold on to the ball. I'm trying to go slightly less wide, play a little more narrow, see if that does anything. A highlight comes immediately. Don't know if it's going to come our way, though. It is them on the ball, playing it around the back, just like, well, I guess I'm trying to tell the boys to play like that for now, but we'll see what happens if we do actually end up picking up the ball. But I guess picking up the ball is the hard thing at this current moment in time, as they have way more possession and seem to be getting some serious shots at the end of it. So maybe it's the defence that I need to switch up. But actually, we do win it back. Dredge, that's not slow, short passing that I asked for, but luckily Greg Grant's there because he picks it up, plays it through, gets it back, and shoots it well over the bar. But I like to see us at least having opportunities. Positive mentality could be a little bit too much, so let's go down to a balanced. And immediately we have an opportunity. Kaiki. I love that short passing. Just to nobody. Because when I say short passing, I mean make sure you pass not to our players. Idiot. Oh my gosh, he's an idiot. What are you doing? What are you actually doing? He passed to no one and we've conceded as a result. And now I have a feeling we're not getting back into it, and we're not winning the Champions League this year, and we're doing another season. Our only chance, I think, was to make it 0-0 on this game. Oh, you're an absolute idiot, Kaiki. We've won the ball back. Okay, hope's not over. Harden up, Raxo. We'll be fine. So, like, Cavalier hits the woodwork. That could have been the one and only chance we were going to have. I'm talking so negatively, but this is Real Madrid. We never beat them. We never even have a chance. I know we played well in the last game, but this seems to be not quite going as well. But, I mean, we have slowed them down since we changed the tactic. Only 2 more shots now, just 1 coming in and 2 shots to us. So maybe we're not completely out of it. They still need another goal to win. They are on the ball in the attacking third right this current moment in time. And Vinicius Jr. has the ball and he's cutting inside. He has a good angle to shoot and he luckily takes it over the bar. But what am I going to do in the second half? Alright, far from pleased. I mean, I've literally no idea. I have no idea. I have an idea. We're going to move Pina into there, move Greg Grant into an advanced an attacking midfielder on support, though. Dredge. Oh, no, that works okay. And then we'll get that CDM there. Kind of a bit asymmetric. I think it might just be okay with Saleh on the inverted fullback on defensive duty. No subs that I want to make at this current moment in time, I don't think. No, I'm good. I might even play him as a deep line. I am going to play him as a deep line. I don't know if I loved the short passing. I do think we don't have the possession, so we just got to play it quickly. Yeah. maybe even drop the defensive line a little bit, because we're not dominating possession. We don't need to have such a big separation. Like, if we drop a bit deeper, it might be easier to connect the midfield, defence and attack all together. Let's hope that does happen in the second half. It's done clearing it long. Someone needs to win the knockdown, and it is Pina, but he does lose it immediately as Eden Nilsson has it. Jimenez trying to move forward and finds a bunch of space. He's already scored once in this game. Can he score again? Let's hope not. Camavinga, Bellingham goes for a shot and hits the woodwork. Wow, okay, so that was a surprising shot. I feel like I can live with them taking shots from that kind of range, though, because, you know, like, maybe one or two will bulge into the back of the net, like, over the span of a couple of games. But, I mean, we're stopping them from getting in and getting those real high XG shots, so I can live with that. It was Greg Grant on the ball there, but he does lose it immediately. It's now them dancing the ball around, trying to get it past us. Jimenez has to come very deep. We're keeping that, I mean, kind of in high press on. I mean, I don't mind it. If we get the ball back, I won't complain. If we concede, I'm going to complain for sure. Dredge, you just... It's trickled past you, and you've done nothing about it, and now they're in. It's painful, because I knew that was going to happen. He just let it trickle past him. Honestly, my nan could stick out a foot and stop that one. And of course it's a goal. We're looking at the replay. Look at this. Eden Nilsson. There's acres of space. There is so much space, and we literally have on stop the crosses. Why are you that far in? And look, it's going at the pace of a turtle. You can run and can intercept that so comfortably, and then Sanchez is behind Vinny, and it's a goal, and we're falling out of the Champions League as things stand. Well, I don't know what to do. I guess old Reliable has to come out, doesn't it? Oben on the winger, on attack. We're going to go attacking. I'm going to move him back to an inverted wing back on support, so he actually has something to do. Should anyone be making way? Probably. Am I going to actually bring anyone off? Probably not. Grant, Millwood. I might bring Kobayashi on and bring Cavalier into that left wing spot, and if he's not playing well, I will be bringing him off. I just feel like when Kobayashi gets a chance, he often just finishes it. That's kind of what we need at this point in time. Let's hope that happens. With 20 minutes to go, we have the ball. We play it back into Kaiki. Kaiki plays it into Saleh. Saleh into Pina immediately. Pina has a good pass on him over to Oben, who has some space on the right-hand side, but quickly gets closed down by Vinicius Jr. He's got the fight to try and win it back, but Bellingham now has it. Sanchez, I think, is in an offside position. He is, but it does come off the woodwork anyway. And 18 minutes to go now. We need to see something happening from us, otherwise we are going out of the Champions League, and I'm going to get some angry messages from Cavalier for sure, and potentially other people, because we were expected to go to the quarterfinals this year. That was a bawdy expectation, and we haven't done that as things stand. Yes, we have been incredibly unlucky by drawing, in my opinion, the best team, but I'm not sure the board are going to be too chuffed either way. Thielman can come off, Brady can come on too, and tactical changes are going to have to be taking place. Let's go more direct, go less wide, stop rolling it out, and let's go even higher and get stuck in to try and win that ball back. Yes, that could lead to us immediately conceding the goal, but it's really what we got to do at this point in time. Very attacking. Highlight is coming. That we take that, even if it is them on the ball. It is probably going to be their chance, though, as they have it down this right-hand side. Cuts it back. Camavinga, Bellingham, top corner. That's it. We're out of the Champions League. And Real Madrid continue to batter us. I knew that I was right in showing you this, even though it was only the round of 16. And to be fair, it really does come down to the fact that we just didn't get top 8. If we get top 8, then we verse an easier team in the round of 16. If we verse an easier team in the round of 16, we can go to the quarterfinal. And the quarterfinal was the one where we can be a bit jammy and go through. Then potentially, actually, it is not over. Bunyard has scored a goal. And I am complaining. I am whinging. I am feeling sad like it is all over. But it is now 3-2 on aggregate. And what can we do to make sure something happens? Go very direct. Stop running at the ball. Go narrow. Distribute quickly over the opposition. let's get Greg Grant on a striker too. Suddenly, my mood has completely changed. Complete forward on attack. Brady can pop up here, be the deep line playmaker. And Pina can run around like a headless chicken as Mazzala. Salia as the attacking inverted wingback. Dredge as an attacking complete wingback. What else can we do? Gaspar's good. Salek's not playing great. Gaspar's coming on. And do we have one more sub in us? We do. Let's get Kaiki off and Kurtz on. Kurtz has a good attacking momentum from chances in the free kicks, the corners. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know if I can do anything else. What else can I do? Maybe don't do that. Actually, just distribute where you want. And let's go down a little bit. Let's not go too much. Okay, 5 minutes. No highlights coming. Watching the last couple of seconds. Yes, I do think that it doesn't do any... Oh, I've turned it to only commentary. We're out. I mean, I'm really not fuming because they are an outrageously good side and we genuinely just need to stop drawing them. But that is a huge fumble for the team. Well, it's not a fumble. It's a knock. And like, I can't really sit here and our youth intake is terrible every single year now. I can't sit here and say, this is the year that we're going to win the Champions League and then have this happen. He's actually just unhappy. He's not like generally unhappy. Oh, I'm taking that. That is a win. But like, I can't sit here and say, I think we're going to... Oh, no. Give me a sec. I can't sit here and say, like, I think this is the year we're going to win the Champions League. If we can't even ever beat those kinds of teams, like it doesn't quite equate. I think I'm feeling like it's the end without it actually quite being the end. But our team is stacked. It's great. And in my experience in Football Manager, if you have a good team, your tactic just kind of sorts itself out. I know that sounds stupid, but if you have good players, you beat the Real Madrids, you beat the Man Cities just by having the best players. And I just don't know if we're at that point. I just don't know if it's hugely possible in a league where I have to continue selling my best players every single season for less than what I could potentially get if we were in the Bundesliga or the Premier League or the La Liga, just to keep the club afloat. You look at this, £186 million worth of transfer budget. Yes, but I do not actually have that. I have £64 million of transfer budget because as soon as I dip into the red, financial fair play comes up and the club goes into financial ruin. And actually, we have £40 million worth of debt remaining. So, like, I mean, it is I'm whinging, but this was meant to be a challenge, wasn't it? It was obviously meant to be a challenge. And I love that it's a challenge because when we do finally get it, I will promise that we'll get to the later stages next season. What do they want? It's not fair to make that, so we're in trouble right now. No, we're not. Tactical tweaks. Oh, shut up. I don't care. Positive. Am I going to have to make tactical tweaks now? Have I made that a promise? Because if I have, I don't actually want to make tactical tweaks, even though I potentially should. When did I promise him that we were going to win the Cinch Premiership? I mean, we're always going to win it, but when did I promise that? I don't remember. Changes to improve league position. What do you mean? We're top. All right. Tactical tweaks are happening, I guess. I can't remember what I was saying, but like it's challenging, is what I'm saying. It is very challenging. McKenna drops the lack of first team football. He is terrible, by the way. McKenna, I love him. Since he lost his face, he is horrific. 9 games, 17 conceded. 9 games, 17 conceded. Remember that. Done. 20 games, 17 conceded. All right. Well, I guess we'll come back at the end of the season. We're gonna win the league. I may as well just keep this one slightly shorter and just show you the season review because we're gonna win the league. Like, it's locked in. with 16 points clear. I'm not worried about that. I'm just potentially worried about losing my job because I want a B- rating. I think I should be fine, but I have failed to think. Is what it is, boys and girls. We go stronger, we go harder next season, and fingers crossed we can make some good transfers. Well, that was a shocking season, in all honesty. We won the Viaplay Cup and won the Cinch Premiership, but I mean, we did want to go further in the Champions League, but we did sign a lot of good players. Pina, Kurt, Angel, Dunn, great signing Dunn was. Laglois, then it's definitely not A, say it, is it? Ferguson, this left back, an F. Well, that's harsh. I mean, he was quite expensive, to be fair, but I feel like he could turn into the best left back in the world. But an F. All right, Samuel Longridge, Pimentel, who's the youngster, and Turnbull, who I don't actually think made a single appearance, but was good in case, maybe. Yeah, we won the league, we know that. 101 points, so our new record tally. You take that. Goal difference the same as the points too, which is pretty impressive. Knocked out by Real Madrid, who, are they in the final? No, they're not. It's Inter and RB Leipzig. Who did they lose to? No, that's not what I want to see. To Leipzig. Damn. Leeds as well. Mate, that is an interesting run to the final. Well, that could have been our year, but we got knocked out. Scottish Cup didn't win, but Viaplay Cup we did win. So, it's not great. And then money's down in every way. That'll be because of the Champions League lack of success. Last season would have been our biggest prize money because we got so much right at the end. Oh, we will probably get like 10 mil extra at the end just for being in the Champions League, but still not as much as last season. Cavalier, Millwood, Grant, Selleck, Oban, by the way, Pina, Tillman, Willens, Webster, Kurtz, Saleh, and Dunn. Kaiki is being a bit harshly treated there, but Greg Grant is back on top. Here we go. Gaspar, young player of the season. Pina with the signing of the season, completely agree. Goal of the season to Saleh. Top goal scorer to Grant. Salk, sorry. Why do I chuck in an I? Oban with the most assists, most player of the matches for Greg Grant, and highest average rating for Greg Grant. So it is one to forget. If you didn't click on this one, then, well, you're not listening to me talk right now, but you probably, you haven't missed out on much. But has anyone been inducted? No, Thiago Gaspar. He's in the starting lineup. No. Millwoods. No. No way. He hasn't even started for us. You can't put him. He hasn't even been a consistent starter for us. He can't be in the starting lineup. Yes, he performs outrageously well, even though he doesn't start. He probably should start, actually, but I disagree with that wholeheartedly. But anyway, the end of the season has come around the corner, and the awards are coming very soon. And next season, fingers crossed for a little bit better. But awards. Stay for the awards. Grant has broken his own best average rating record, so this is clearly his best season. He's getting into his prime, to be fair, so you would expect that at 26 years of age. Still wanted by a lot of clubs, but still will not get enough money through the door for me to even think about selling him. He is the player of the year again, which you love to see. Last year he was taken over by Oban, but apart from that, he's been dominant for a couple of years. Top goal scorer as well, which is obviously great to see too. Lovering in second place, who I'm thinking about buying just to get him away because he keeps scoring against me. Gaspar is the young player of the season. I agree with that wholeheartedly as well. Saleh, goal of the season. Can't complain about that. Goal of the season twice. Manager of the year for me. We'll take that. Everyone in our team in the best 11, apart from Greg Grant, as always, and a striker who got 13 goals. I think Lovering should be in there. Grant, Pina, Millwood, mate. Not even close for Oban this season. A bit of a slower one. I mean, he was injured near the end. And he did play striker near the end, actually. No, he wasn't really injured. 31 appearances. Still what? 30 goal contributions. Millwood wasn't that good. 23. Yeah, mate. He's been disrespected there. 26 there. Oban should really be in there. I mean, he was in the best 11, I think. I'm pretty sure. Team of the year, yeah. Yeah, he's in there. Ooh, bit of a surprise. But anyway, one of the things that is noteworthy, though, I didn't win the Riders Manager of the Year. The Dundee man did. I think it's probably valid, though, because I think in comparison to where they finished last season, they have done quite well, because they came 5th, and the season before that, they were down in 8th. Well, that's not that outrageous. You know what is outrageous? Falkirk finishing above Rangers. The dynasty is over. Well, at least for this season. And also, it normally is Rangers right behind us. Celtic have been dropping off recently, but they're picking up again. Well, actually, they beat us this season, so clearly they're getting some decent players through the door. But anyway, we're ending the season here. It's saving, so I mean, this is the perfect time for me to do an outro. Thank you guys so much for watching. Tune back in next season. Hopefully we win the Champions League, or at least go past the round of 16. Subscribe if you're new around here. Like this video. I'll see you all. Anything interesting here? Oh, young player? Nah, nothing interesting. Later.